Hello traders, today we're going to make some charts. This is the Sierra Charts platform, and we'll be making 3 charts for the ES, the ones that we use to communicate with the VPT module. Remember now, you can download our pre-made chart book called VolumePriceTrader. You can see it right up there. I'll just click on that, and that contains all the charts that you need with all the studies and everything configured. But anyway, I'll show you anyway how to do these 3 charts real quick here, how easy they are. So with a blank chart book, you open a new chart book and you come up here to File, New Intraday Chart, and you find the current month for the ESH5 right now, and there we have a chart up and running. Now we want to cascade our charts, so let's move it over. There's our first chart. Now we go into chart settings to configure it. We want this to be our daily chart, so days, minutes, seconds. We'll change that to be 1-0-0, and everything is fine up here. We want to uncheck load weekend data. This is very important so that our pivots, as they're printed out, are correct. And we want to leave this checked, automatically rollover futures symbol. So we click OK, and there we have our daily chart, and that's basically done. So now let's get our second chart for the ES. Here we go again, File, Intraday. Again, we want our H5. That will change 4 times a year, remember. And here we have our next chart right there. Now this will be our long-term ES chart. We call it ESLT, and that is a 1597 tick chart. So let's right click in it, Chart Studies, and we want to change this to trades per bar, and this number here will be 1597. We do not need weekend data. We only need 3 days, and we're all set. Now let's add the studies that we need in this chart. So you can right click Studies, and the first thing we'll add is a write bar data to file. We're going to need 2 of those, so I'll just add it twice. So let's do the first one here. Settings. Now this will write our data to the common folder that VPT reads. So let's set up the file path. And that will be VPT chart underscore ESLT text. And it's based on the main price graph. Okay. The next thing we want to add is the pivot points daily. So let's scroll up, find that. Add it, and let's go and configure it. Now the only thing you need to configure this is we want it to reference the daily chart. So we click up here on the daily chart, and right away it populates with the only daily chart we have for the ES5. And then we want to come down here, reference daily chart for data, and that will be a resounding yes. Okay, now our pivot points are configured. Now we can go to our second right bar data to file, and we'll click settings there, and this one will be made based on the pivot points, so we'll change that to pivot points. And again, we need to make a file path here, VPT pivots ES text file. Okay, so that's going to write our pivots for the ES to this text file. And then the last studies are basically optional, whatever you want to do. What we like to do is put some kind of a moving average on, and you come over here, we just 10, we like 8, it's Fibonacci number. And then the other thing for the divergence is a stochastic momentum indicator. And there's nothing to change there. We'll just leave the default settings for that. And we click OK, and there we have it. On our charts, we've changed this to histogram, which you can do if you like, but there they are. There's your moving average, and everything is set up for the ESLT chart. Okay, we got one to go, the ESST. And again, another chart here, based on ESH5. And we'll get it over here. We'll go to chart settings, and again we'll change this to trades per bar. This will be 610. Don't need weekend data, 3 days only, and we're all set with that. So now let's put some studies in here that we need. Again, we need a right bar data to file. And the settings on that will simply be the file path that will be based on the main price graph. So VPT chart underscore ESST text file. And always we like to see pivot points on all our charts. Whenever you glance at a chart, you want to be able to see it right away. So let's go ahead and put the pivot points daily in there. And again, we'll make it the referencing the daily chart. Let's go up there. Yep, found it okay. And change this to yes. Alright, that takes care of the pivot points. And then we don't need to write the pivot points data to file because that's already done on our other ES chart. So then we just add our studies that we like to see. Let's go back to our moving average, 8, this can be 13, 10, 21, whatever. You can put several on here if you like, watch for crossovers. And then the stochastic momentum indicator, and again, nothing to change there. So we're okay, and we're all set. When you're all done with this, now you want to be sure and save this. If that's in an existing chart book, you just click Save, which would be here. If this is a new one, Save As. And then here's how you could name your chart book. New chart book. And click Save, and it's all saved. Okay? So that's how you make charts real easy and using the configuration that we need for the VolumePriceTrader. Thank you. Bye-bye.